Hi, I'm Ryan Stevenson. I'm the head chef of the Katelbut Chocolate Academy here in Belgium. And this is Katelbut Ruby RB1, the first ruby chocolate for artisans and for chefs. Now, as you can see, this chocolate is different in every sense and it's really exceptional. Its color, it's a pink reddish color, and the taste, it's intense, fruity, full of fresh sour notes. Now, its unique properties we owe to the ruby cocoa bean. There's no colorings or fruit flavorings involved whatsoever. Now it's really cool. With the Ruby RB1, you can give a really fresh, young twist to your product offering and attract a new customer base. Look at this Ruby Manon, for instance. It has a ruby buttercream filling. A buttercream is actually designed to let the ruby taste really pop out. And it's one of the classic Belgium chocolates, yet completely updated and modernized. If you're curious to find out how to make it, stay with us. We'll get right to it. If you want to use a ruby in a filling, I'd recommend making it with fats like butter and never use a cream like you would in a ganache. This way you maintain the acidity of Ruby RB1 and bring out its intense fruitiness and fresh sour notes. Using cream as a base would dilute the ruby taste and the color. This is a special recipe for a long shelf life. So first, we start weighing off the ingredients. We need 120 grams Beurre Glacier, a special butter containing a minimal amount of water. Why does this matter? Well, less water makes the product much more stable over a longer period of time. We also need 210 grams of ruby chocolate and 20 grams of cocoa butter. Since we'll be molding this filling, the cocoa butter will help the filling to crystallize and develop enough solidity to easily unmold and enrobe afterwards. We combine everything in one bowl and melt it in the microwave at full speed. Take it out regularly and stir to prevent it from burning. Once everything's melted and homogeneous, pour it onto the marble and temper the filling. You should end up at around 24 to 26 degrees Celsius. Then, transfer the filling into a piping bag, which makes it easier to fill our molds. For this one, I prefer a dome-shaped silicone mold, looking like a Manon. I use this one because it's a typical Belgium icon and because they're easy to unmold. And don't forget, always make sure the molds are completely clean and dry. Then, pipe the filling into the molds. Fill them up nicely and keep a little space from the top, because we'll be adding some small fruit paste cubes. Then, clean the surface of the mold with a scraper. And now we add the fruit paste cubes. Tap the molds to settle the cubes into the cream and release any trapped air bubbles. Then, put the molds into the fridge at 16 degrees Celsius for at least 4 hours. This way, the ruby buttercream can cool, fully set and crystallize. Now, unmold the fillings and leave them at room temperature before we'll hand dip them. Have a bowl with tempered ruby chocolate ready. The ideal working temperature for the ruby chocolate is 29 degrees Celsius. Now, press each filling into the chocolate with the top facing down. Press a dipping fork on one side or the bottom to turn them over and cover the base. Then, lift the bonbon out of the chocolate. Tap them against the surface to remove excess chocolate. Slide the bottom of the bonbon against the edge of the bowl to remove the last bit of excess chocolate. Let the praline slide off the fork gently onto a plastic sheet and leave enough space between the Manons to make them cool evenly and avoid them sticking together. Lastly, decorate the Manons. I use some Mona Lisa dark chocolate tagliatelle. Just fill a small paper piping bag with tempered ruby chocolate. Pipe a drop of tempered ruby chocolate on top of each Manon. Stick a tagliatelle to the wet chocolate and immediately have it set using some cooling spray. Now for the finishing touch. A little touch of gold leaf to turn this typical Belgian praline into a modern, hedonistic ruby creation. And here it is, the Ruby Buttercream Manon, a hot seller for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, or any other festive occasion.